good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah. I've been thinking about you.
Okay.
Yep, I have some. We have a lot of things that we're gonna cover. As I told you last time, when you emailed me and you asked me, what's the difference between a spiritual reading and a consultation? And I told you, well, a consultation is just without, the channeling and whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, but as I, prepared myself for our session, I sat and I thought, and the spirit realm just came. Well, your spirit guides and my spirit was just like, listen, this is what you need to help her with, which we will get involved, which we will get into details with. What they said to me, and I wrote everything down because most of the time when I channel, because I'm in between two different realms, I may forget a lot of things. And it's not that I forget, is that I'm in between two realms. So
I
when
know.
when the messages came through to me, in terms of this session, I had to write like everything down. Like most of the things that they were saying is written down. So the first thing that came up is that because they said you are already on a spiritual vibe, they said, listen, she needs to set up altars, and she also needs to begin cleansing her spirit by taking spiritual baths. I don't know if you already been doing this. I don't know if you already have an altar set up, but this is what you need to do in order for you to communicate with the spirit realm. So will properly communicate with the spirit realm, because they're saying that the technique that you're using,
Mhm.
it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient. So they
Okay.
gave me detailed instructions of who to contact and which altars that you need to be setting up so that you can remain have communication with the spirit realm. Now bear with me because again, I just scrabbled everything that and the messages was coming fast. So I'm just gonna run everything down for you. Now, the first one, okay, so when they said, all right, the spirit realm or whatnot, she needs to set up altars. And again, this is recorded, so you can always go back, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. This one has to be recorded because this information that you're gonna get, you're gonna always, I guarantee that you're always gonna play this recording. But anyway, nonetheless, um, in order for you, because you have this, and just coming from your past life, you have this warrior goddess slash Oya energy with you, and that is true because she's one of the Orishas that came up. But they said before even contacting them, or before even having communication, open communication with them, you have to set up an altar for Esu Elegua. Okay, are you familiar with him?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, so you know that he is the master of crossroads. He is like the guardian of the, like he's the guardian of the gates to the Orishas. So they said, listen,
Yes. To the family.
right. So they said, listen, even before even trying to contact the Rishas, you need to set up and acknowledge Eshu Elegua. So I said, okay, well, how does she go about that? Like, what do she need to do? The first thing that came up is his colors. His colors are red and black. The days that you give offerings to Eshu Elegua is on a Monday. And what you're going to do is you're going to feed him rum and cigarettes, spicy food with hot sauce, with a lot of hot sauce. So I'm feeling like probably like, like the Jamaican rum, or like the
Mhm.
African, or like the African rum, I mean African hot sauce or spices or whatnot. You want to give him foods with
Yes.
that. So you want to give him like red peppers, cooked with palm oil. That's good too because he likes palm oil. So give him food, give him cigarettes, and also give him rum. Now, the altar that you're going to set up is separate. He's going to have his own altar. So do not mix his altar up with anybody else. You need to acknowledge him when you want to, again, you want to communicate with the spirit realm, you go to him first. So he needs his own space. Um, so yeah, the spicy food with the palm oil, the hot sauce, and the peppers. So I said, okay, fine. That's taken care of. So then what? They said, okay, well, as you know, she is Oya. She is Oya reincarnated. She always been like this warrior goddess. She always been protector of all children. But you need also to tell her a little bit more. I know you might have, did your research on Oya and, looked her up and you already have it in you. But they led me to this Orisha book that I have, and they said to her, read some of the things about her so that she can get a full understanding, like a holistic understanding of who she is. Okay. So she is a Yoruba legend. Ogun. Did you know that Ogun was her first husband?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she found out.
Right. So Ogun, sacred iron worker, saw a magnificent horned water buffalo emerge from the Niger River and transform into this beautiful woman. So that's where I believe, the first time around when we did this reading, we spoke about the buffaloes, and I think you mentioned something about that. Was that true?
No, not buffalo.
It was some. I do believe we did mention that. You might have not mentioned that, but again, if you didn't mention it from before, this is what's coming up now. Right. So, he saw a magnificent horned water buffalo emerge from the Niger River and transformed into a beautiful woman. He followed this magical woman. She walked like a queen through the marketplace where she bargained intensively and successfully for fine cloth. Did I not tell you that in your past life you used to, make these fine cloth and you wore these fine, these cloth? Remember?
Yeah.
Mhm. Right. So Ogun was smitten. He approached her and begged to marry her. She first demurred, but when he revealed that he knew her secret identity and threatened to expose her, Oya agreed to marry him, but only if he never told anyone about her true identity. He agreed and brought her home to his forest compound. He loved her passionately, but his other wives were delighted and sensed that there was something different about her. One night, Ogun and Oya argued. He lost his temper and shouted out something about her true bovine identity. The other wives, eavesdropped by the door, heard it all. Oya knew her secret was revealed. She didn't say another word but simply walked out of Ogun's home, never to return, transformed back into her buffalo shape, and entered the Niger River over which she presides. That's one version of their divorce. Anyway, another suggests that Oya, the most intellectual of the Orishas, was bored sick helping Ogun at the forge. When opportunity arose, she eloped with Shango, his dashing brother who made her his chief adviser. Oya is the woman warrior Orisha of storms, winds, and hurricanes. The winds she raises in West Africa manifest as hurricanes in the Caribbean. That's why a lot of people, when you have like those Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Katrina, hurricane. You see when you have like those heavy hurricanes that destroys the whole world, that destroys certain parts of the country or continent or whatnot. They always say they always say that's the ancestors speaking. They always say that's the powers of the ancestors. Now reading this, I agree with that. I always knew that, but this is just confirmation that whenever you have like hurricanes or heavy thunderstorm, that's always the energy of our ancestors. Okay. So Oya presides over healing and divination. She has dominion over justice and memory. She is invoked for fertility, especially after chronic miscarriages. So that's another aspect of perhaps why you yourself is so overprotective um for the children that you have, um Oya Oya may be the true mother of the Abiku, the child born to die. Oya has become increasingly popular in the past few decades and is now amongst the most beloved Santeria Orishas. Oya's devotees traditionally refrain from eating mutton. I don't know what it is, mutton or mutant.
No, it's not. I think it's some kind of fish.
Right. Something similar
I'm
like
not
that.
sure.
Right. Never, and this is what I'm about to explain to you is something that I don't know if you know of, but again, this is a consultation for you. Um but you are never, a lot of people get this, a lot of people do this, and this is something that you shouldn't do. Um you are to never, where was that at? Never sacrifice Oshun and Oya simultaneously. Never.
Yeah, I read that. Oh,
A lot of a lot of people that don't know what they're doing always put Oya and Oshun on the same altar. You are never to do that at all. Even I even say you're never to even put Yemenya on the same altar as Oya. Why? Because Yemenya has a totally different energy than, say that again.
I said, I was looking, yeah.
Yeah, Oya has a totally different energy than both Yemenya and Oshun. Most people say that Yemenya is the mother of Oshun, or some people say that Oshun is the reincarnated of Yemenya. So that's another point that many people or you should know. Um, Now, never sacrifice Oshun and Oya simultaneously. Both are married to Shango, and there is a long term like hatred towards each other. Oya is Shango's trusted advisor who rides to battle by his side. Oshun, however, is reputedly Shango's favorite wife. She modestly attributes this to his culinary skills. Oya may be alongside Ogun or Shango, but not both simultaneously. And that's another thing that a lot of perhaps people do. They put both Shango and Ogun on the same altar, but they have this I guess hatred, or they have this animosity towards each other because of Oya. And it makes sense because if you think about it, that's the same thing when females date, brothers, two brothers or two cousins.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, not to say
Yeah.
that they hate each other, but they like, yo, that dude's foul, that brother's foul. Like, how he gonna do that? Blah blah blah. Blah. Or somebody or a
Yeah.
friend would date somebody's baby mother. That's the same
Yeah.
thing.
I think it's hard. Yeah, and you have to look at them as though they were human in some aspects too to help you understand it all. But I know sometimes people can only view them as gods and goddesses. So
That's
I
absolutely
think you
right.
got to do that on both levels.
And that's what I'm trying, and that's what this is why this is so beautiful, because as I told you before, you understand these things, but it's your approach. Like, how am I going to approach this to get better? Is what the spirit realm, is what your spirit guides and my spirit is telling me. Like, this is the things that she needs to do to get better in communicating with them, having a solid foundation and understanding. So moving forward, Oya protects against lightning, hurricanes, tornadoes, and storms. She heals lung disease. So that's another aspect of the healing thing with you. Um, Oya is also known as Saint Barbara, Saint Teresa of Avila, and her favorite people are librarians, spirit mediums, female merchants, entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs and shopkeepers, woman warriors such as yourself, meteorologists, cemetery workers, and mortician. And it's interesting that this cemetery worker thing came up because moving forward, which we're gonna get into, Mama Bridget came up, who you are as well. So you're both Mama Bridget and Oya, and I'm gonna explain to you when after I finish with this Oya thing. So manifestations, as you know, Oya manifests as a woman or an antelope or water buffalo. She wears 9 copper bracelets. Okay, so her attributes are black horsetail switch, lightning bulb. Her elements is fire, which is lightning, air, which is wind, water is river, and earth. Graveyard, though. Graveyard. All right. Her favorite color is maroon. Her favorite day is Thursday. Her favorite number, as you know, is the number 9. Her favorite her favorite metal is copper. The creatures, which if you want to give offerings or you want to do sacrifices, is the water buffalo and the sheep locust and the antelope. Her tree, I don't know if they have these particular trees around you, but it's the akoko, okay, and the camwood. And the akoko is spelled Akoko, and the camwood is Camwood. Okay. The plants, if you want to keep plants in honor of her name, of her, is the camphor, the cypress, marigold, mimosa. Okay. Her planets is Uranus.
What was the first one? What was the first one again?
The first one is camphor, spelled CAM like mom, PH, PHOR. Okay, the camphor, the cypress, the marigold, and mimosa. All right, the planets is Uranus, dark moon, and shooting stars. Now, when you speak about a dark moon, I feel like the dark moon may be the new moon, right? Because at that time it's about new beginnings, or you just came out of something full, which is blossoming, which is birth, and then now it's dying down to only start something again. So that would be considered, for me, how I would interpret that would be a dark moon. The sacred sites of Oya, which again, who you are. Oya is the spirit of the Niger River. The island of Jebba in the river is sacred to her. Altars. Now, this is very important for you because that's what came up in the notes. Setting up proper ways to set up these altars for her. Place a pair of horns on her altar to represent her. Strike them together to call her. Place 2 swords on her altar
Okay,
as
a pair of plums.
horns. Horns.
I didn't,
Are you hearing me?
no, I didn't hear that.
Horns, horns, like the buffalo horns.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right? So you're going to place a pair of horns on her altar to represent her. Okay? Strike them together to call her. Place 2 swords on her altar as well as smooth river pebbles. So, if you are, I guess, like by any mainstream of water, you can get the pebbles there. Or even, I guess, by the beach water, you can get the pebbles there. But that's very important as well. Now, her realm. where she, where you can really get into her. Oya rules the marketplace. Considered consider the magical dominium of woman. She rules the cemetery is the only Orisha willing to have contact with the dead. And I feel like with that, it's just about energy. It's just about transformation. You see, because in order for somebody to be reborn again, they have to die. A lot of us has been dead in this life, in this lifetime. Now you have died and you have awakened yourself. You see, going
Well,
from.
I had
Go ahead.
I want to share an
Mhm.
experience I had.
Mhm.
In a friend of mine
Mhm.
passed away,
Mm.
and he was missing for he was missing for like a couple of days.
You're breaking up. You say that again.
I said he was missing for a few days, and I didn't feel anything from him. But when they found his body, and this is the first time that I can recall having an experience like this with
Mm.
somebody that has passed away. Um, my mind was envisioning him being in the trunk, crouched in the trunk, and like that was the picture in my mind. And I felt his presence just come like with his hand and wipe it away and say, no, don't think about that. It's okay. I'm
Mm.
okay.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
it's like I sat down on the bed and we had this whole conversation. I couldn't recall it back now, but we had this whole conversation. And I sat there and I laughed and I cried and
Mhm.
it just wasn't anything bad.
It wasn't. It's not going to
Um,
be bad. Yeah. It's
and
not.
then
Mhm.
when my mom passed, I had this alarm and I just recently took the phone down. I had this alarm that went off every day, and when she passed, it was reminding me to call her even before she passed every day at 5 o'clock.
Mm.
And I just never cut it off. So then I just started, when I hear the thing go off, I'll be like, Ma, I'm calling you, in my
Mm.
room. So
Mm.
one day, she said, she's like, what you calling me for?
Right.
And this is what I heard her say. And I say what I knew, because if I call her on the phone, she'll ask me what I want. I don't say nothing, or she'll, say stuff like that, like, what you telling me for? And I'll say, I ain't asked to be here. I'll call you if I want to. I'll talk to you if I want to. So, I had that little back
Right.
and forth with her that time too.
Mm. Powerful. Yeah. That's speaking to the. Yeah. That's speaking to the dead. At, like I'm telling you, from the picture that you sent me, like the our last session was just like clearly identify that you are reincarnated Oya. Like clearly identify that you are a reincarnated Oya. But then when you sent me those pictures, I was like, wow. I was just like this person, again, you do know who you are, but again, it's having like more information, like layers and layers and layers. Even myself, I know that in one of my past life I was a shaman, and as a result now, or it don't have to be my recent past life like you. I feel like your recent past life was Oya. It don't have to be that my recent past life was like a shaman, but I do know that in one of my past lives I was a shaman, and as a result now I'm doing this work. But I'm saying this to say,
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I wanted to share something with you.
Go ahead.
So the day that we had our session,
You see how the spirit realm works? Go ahead. Mhm.
the day we had our session, when I went home, I went to my friend's house
Mhm.
and went to bed. So I go to sleep and I feel you.
Yeah.
Um, and it was like you were showing me that I could trust myself, that I could trust my heart and I could trust my mind.
Mm.
So what happened was I'm just laying in the bed, and I feel all of this going on. I can see a picture, but it's just light. It's just different levels of light, to show whatever it is. So there was this like a golden drape, or golden. It was beautiful. And you were holding it up, like, if you follow me, or if you give me this, or you do that, I'll give you this. And I was like, no. So you just kept going back and forth with me, and at the end of it, it was like, you can trust yourself.
Right.
So there was also, I felt, so there are two, and this has happened at least 3 times with me that I've identified. I've had this experience at least 3 times. So where my heart is very calm, and whoever's talking to me, they're very calm, but then I guess it's my third eye. It is loud. It is boisterous. It is rude. It's almost like there are two different beings, or there are 2 different energies, but my mind is like this loud, boisterous, and rude. And you pointed at my mind and was like, you're needy, and because my mind, that energy kept going down. It kept going down to that heart energy, that heart chakra, and then going back up. It's like, I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe it was trust issues, going back to make sure that, I don't know, but it was just interesting the whole experience was just interesting.
Remember we spoke about those colors. Remember I said there's like hot, sharp, like fiery color. We spoke about that. So now I feel, well, from what you just said, is now your spirit is, now we had a physical experience, so now you revisited that in the spirit realm as well. So you getting both the physical and the spirit, in the spirit realm and in the physical realm. Like this, what we doing is in the physical realm. I may visit you again in the spirit realm and show you some other things. You see, that's all that's about. That's all, because I'm telling you, I've been thinking about you. I feel
like you never left.
I was like, no, I gotta help this one. This one, I have to help her. Like, it's people like you that I want you to get on board. Like, not to say that you don't know anything, but guidance. And because the spirit realm has gave me this information, and it has gave me this energy to help people, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. So that's good that you're getting both the physical, the physical guidance and the spiritual guidance in the real spirit realm world.
And you showed me too. It was almost like I could see these little black stripes, but they were heavy. Like something you could tangibly hold. Showing me that how I hold grudges, and I collect things in my heart. I don't let them go. And you were like, you can let them go.
You can let them go.
And I did, and I feel like I let them go there, and I feel the difference, even in the way that I breathe. The way my chest feels is different.
And that's probably why the spirit, my spirit was saying, listen, tell her she needs to cleanse her spirit. You need to wash away, just wash yourself. Again, when I channel, I'm just getting messages from the spirit realm. So if you already having these visions in the spirit realm that I'm telling you to let go, and you're feeling already better, physically, I'm going to channel this information. You see, I'm going to channel for you to cleanse yourself, for you to heal. You see, it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense.
It does.
So like moving, like, all right. So, is there anything else that you wanted?
So I was in a hospital for 16 days. So, all right. So so this is all new. All these experiences with the Orisha is all new. Nobody in my family has ever experienced this, none of it. So this is just like I'm on an island. But I still have, or I've had, Christian experiences, and I still do.
What you had?
Like Christian spiritual experiences.
That's okay. Mhm.
Okay.
That's all right. If you know how to interpret it.
Yeah, well, I kind of look at it like it's just spirit. Period. I try not to put a label on it.
Right.
It's just spirit. But I was in the hospital for 16 days because I was hearing voices.
Mhm.
And, so I'm doing what the voices saying, of course, so I wound up in the hospital. But it's very interesting that half of the things that I heard while I was in this state actually happened when I got out of the hospital. And it was just an interesting experience because I knew that there wasn't anything wrong with me, but my mind and the spirit, they weren't on the same page. So I had to go to the hospital.
Those are symptoms, and I'm gonna tell you, those are symptoms of spiritual awakening. When you don't understand what's happening, but you know that something is happening, especially when you hear voices and stuff like that. That's even me when I channel. I hear people talking to me. I hear this. That's how I'm able to deliver the messages because the spirit realm, the spirit guides are talking to me. So, but if you have never experienced this before, or if it's coming to you so rapidly where you're not sure where it's coming from, you may feel like you're going crazy. But
yeah, I did.
Right, you may feel like you're going crazy, but in actuality, you're not going crazy, and your frequency, your vibrational frequency is actually elevating. But when situations like that happens, I always tell my clients, listen, go into meditation, calm yourself down, balance yourself out, ground yourself. You're a Taurus, you need to ground yourself.
Yeah. Well, this was like 10 years ago.
Well,
but they were trying to tell me I needed medicine. I didn't take it or whatever. But it was just interesting getting through all of that up until this point. But I know that if I had talked to you then, I wouldn't have talked to you then either. So, it's a process. And like you say, you sign a contract and you agree to go through things. So it was all good.
It's all good. And look where you at now. 10 years from that situation, look where you at now. Understanding and evolving, you see. Understanding and evolving. And again, you meet people by divine appointment. You meet people when they are, I'm gonna say, when you need them, in a sense, like literally when you need them, like right now, or when they are helping you to get closer to your highest good. That's when because the Most High puts people in your life for that. Is rather you're going to learn a lesson from them, or you're going to get a blessing from them. But either or is going to help you to get closer to where you need to be. So okay, listen, hey, we're gonna put Mama Ella in her journey, in her life, in her chapter right now, because she's at she's at this level now
that was
where
crazy.
Right.
I was on the train trying to listen to Google Play on my phone. Google and YouTube are totally different. And I see this video, and I'm like, what is this? This is not known. So I just listened. I was like, okay. And then I listened to like 5 of them. But,
everything happens for a reason, and again, it's up to us to analyze or understand what's actually taking place into our life. And again, we all have I say control of what happens into our life, in our life. How sometimes people, they get abused by loved ones or taking advantage, but guess what? You have control of that. Everybody that's in your life is in your life by choice. You don't have to deal with that. So again, you're on the right path, and people, and it's gonna continue to get more and more and more when you approach this thing the way I'm telling you to approach this thing, or recommending you to approach this. Is all it's gonna do, and to the extent that you give offerings, you take your baths, you in your meditation, you follow your spirit, you elevating. That's it, you elevating. And that's what it's about. Okay? So, and as you know, and okay, so we're going back to this Oya thing where the way you're gonna set up her altar, as you know, her favorite offerings are star fruits, black eyed peas, purple plums, black or purple grapes. Her favorite food is an eggplant. 9 eggplants are traditional offerings. But if some people can't afford 9 eggplants, you can split one eggplant in nine pieces.
Yeah, I
But
did my I have a therapist that I see, but we don't talk about this stuff. Like
mhm,
initially we did because I needed it, because it had just it was just recently. So she doesn't do readings or anything like that for me.
mhm,
She talks to me like a therapist, like a doctor.
mhm.
But initially this was our conversation, and she had me do an offering. Was it an offering? The Oya, because she was just like, she said that there was a lot of energy around me. It was just, just to kind of cleanse it. And I did these 9 candles,
Eggplants. Oh, nine
9
candles.
red flowers. I like the eggplant, 9 pieces,
Right.
coconut, 9 pieces,
See the
and
coconut.
some other stuff.
See the coconut thing. The coconut is for Obatala.
Okay.
The coconut is not for Oya. The coconut is for Obatala because you want the coconut water. You want the protection. That's. And again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Orisha priestess or whatnot, but I know they come to me. They sure enough come to me, and I don't need to be a priestess to deliver these type of messages. And just from
Mm-hmm.
experience with healing, actually healing and getting people out of situations, I know that
Mm-hmm.
I know that the coconut is for Obatala. Like that's. But again, it depends on where you do your studies or who you're initiated with.
Yeah.
I don't know. But her special meals. Did you know about the 9 bean soup?
No.
Okay.
9 beans.
Yeah. So her special ritual meals that you can put on her altar is the eggplant with rice or 9 bean soup. So I guess it may be like a pinto bean or a black beans, or I don't know if they have purple beans, but if her favorite colors are purple, you want to do that, or black beans, or 9 different kind of dark beans, which
Mm-hmm.
is a 9 bean soup. Or you can even look into it a little bit more and see exactly what it like, if there is a specific package that you can buy which is called 9 bean soup. Um, and of course, she likes red wine, and I will recommend that you can offer that again on her altar or the cemetery gates, which which
So the
lead
what? What was I?
the cemetery gates.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
which leads me, which is interesting because as I told, which leads me to speak about Mama Bridget, which who you are as well. They said, listen, she's Oya, and she also could be Mama Bridget. And I said, ain't this something? Because Mama Bridget, she is Barasamdi's wife. Are you familiar with Mama Bridget?
No.
Okay. Now we're dealing with something else, someone else who you are also like you give off that energy to. Like she's with you. Mama Bridget, she's somebody that you go to. And it's interesting because my mom is Haitian and Mama Bridget is Haitian. And
Uh-huh.
you know Princess and the Frog.
I've heard of it. I didn't see it though.
The movie Princess and the Frog, and they have Barasamdi. He's like a voodoo priestess, and
Uh-huh.
Mama Bridget is his wife, who is a voodoo priestess. You know, for a woman. And she's the queen of the cemetery, and she deals with transformation. This is all notes coming from the spirit realm. Listen, I'm like Mama Bridget. I said, how come she's Mama Bridget? They say yes, because she's the queen of the cemetery, and she deals with transformation. And once I wrote that transformation and cemetery down, after analyzing who you were as Oya, I said, oh, so the same way as I explained to you that the same way that I explained to you that Oshun is also like reincarnated Yemenya,
Uh-huh.
you who you are, Oya can also be a reincarnated Mama Bridget, or Mama Bridget being reincarnated Oya.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So the queen of the
So
cemetery.
they're the same, but just in different traditions.
I'm feeling
Or
like that.
they're not.
I'm no.
Okay.
I'm feeling like, just from writing this down.
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling like they are the same because of all of these different attributes that they told me about this woman. I said
Uh-huh.
it feels like they're the same but in different traditions.
Okay.
So it may be, or they just may be very quite similar, because there's a lot of deities or priestess that rule the underworld or have that type of energy. But and then too, you dealing with Haitian voodoo. So we don't play that. It's like transfer. What you trying to do? What? No.
Uh-huh.
You get what I'm saying? So it could even
Yeah.
be that energy, and that's where I was like, oh, okay, because when you explained to me that you're overprotected about the children and stuff like that, I was like, this is making sense, and this is why they're saying, listen, you know what it is, but you need to understand more of who you are. So Mama Bridget came up, right? So again, she's the
Uh-huh.
queen. She's the queen of the cemetery. She deals with transformation. She especially dealing with fertility and healing. And when I spoke to you about your past life, how you took care of all of the children, even the orphanage children, that came up. I was like, oh shoot, I'm just putting the pieces
Uh-huh.
to the puzzle together, like, oh, so this is who she is. um Mama Bridget is also invoked for she's also invoked for terminally ill children. So perhaps children that don't have no mother,
Uh-huh.
children that are sick. You get what I'm saying? People that needs things
Yeah.
like, say that again.
I said, yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah,
I mean, I've had kids living in my house too, so yeah.
you see that? You see that? And you didn't reveal that to me last time. um and this is what they said, and this is the paper here. This is what they said. I said, okay, well, why should she set up an altar for Mama Bridget? They said, set up an altar for Mama Bridget to help you protect the children in your life and for financial prosperity. This is the reason why you have to, like, you should set up an altar for Mama Bridget, to protect you, to help you protect the children in your life and financial prosperity. Now, and I said, oh shoot, her energy is very similar to Oya. Her colors are purple and black, and her number is number
Okay.
9, and her number is the number 9 as well. So I said, oh, okay, we getting somewhere. Guess where she lives?
But
She lives in the trees in the graveyards. Like, so
okay.
she's living in the graveyards. So once I heard she lives in the trees in the graveyard, and they say, yeah, that's why she needs to also deal with the fairies. We gonna get into that too with you. Um, so she lives in the trees with the graveyards. Her offering, when you want to give her offerings, black coffee, overproof rum, red wine, 9 eggplants, black beans and rice, and cornbread. That's for her.
Okay.
Yes, it's too similar. You see what I'm saying? Um,
Uh-huh.
and for her, and the way you want to, they okay. I said, okay, well, that's what she's gonna offer her. Okay, well, how does she set up this altar? Arrange. They said go to the cemetery, and get like the rocks, and with Oya, in this book right here, what did they say? They said get pebbles. But for her, you got to get rocks. And they said to shape it like a pyramid shape.
Uh-huh.
So what I would recommend for you, you set up a small little altar, get the rocks from the cemetery or whatnot. Put do the pyramid shape, and I will recommend that you rather put black coffee in the middle. Anything that you do, any type of foods that you want to offer her, put it in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Put it in the middle. I feel that that will be like an enhancement. You get what I'm saying? Like the pyramid is like and like give it more power you know,
Uh-huh.
giving it more power to whatever it is that, well, not whatever it is, you doing this so that they can help you, the spirit realm, well, Mama Bridget can help you to protect the children and for prosperity, financial prosperity. So this is why you're doing that. Now, as I told you before, once they told me that she lives in the trees of the graveyard, and they said that's why you need to contact the fairies. I said, oh, okay, she need to contact the fairies. So I said, okay, well, how does she go about that, or whatever? And they said no, lavender, rosemary, and morning glories is what you should put up in your house.
I love lavender. I have all my cleaner is lavender. What's the other one you said?
Rosemary. See how you.
Yeah, I cook with rosemary. I cook my salmon, my chicken, fresh rosemary, all the time.
So then that's what it is. And I told like see the spirit realm with your spirit guys would tell me is things that happen maybe happening to you right now or will happen
Uh-huh.
to you in the near future. So you're already confirming. That's what I'm saying. You're already confirming that you're doing this. This is good stuff. You're already confirming that you have the lavender, you have the rosemary, but they said morning glories. They said morning
Uh-huh.
glories, morning glories. It's how to get that. So what you do is you set it up around your house or whatever, like get a rosemary plant, not to cook with, but to have in your house. And that will help with, prosperity, good luck, good fortune, etc., etc. That will relate with you because remember, as I told you, in your past life with you used to live in a village with all of these children and stuff like that, and normally when you live in these particular types of villages you're surrounded by nature. So I'm feeling like the fairies were people that you would contact also in your past life, which you can still contact now in this realm to help you with blessings or to help you to continue to bless other people. That's very important.
Okay, there are all these birds flying outside my window right now.
Girl, don't tell me that. That's
Yeah,
the
white birds. All these white birds flying outside
that's
my
the
window.
spirit realm. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This is this. Oh, I love it. I love it. You see this? You see what's happening? Do you see what's
There's
happening?
some other birds out here too. There's some dark birds out here too.
Is this a
I live
coincidence?
on a real now. I live in a city. I'm on a real now street. We get birds, but not like this time of day. They know in the morning.
Confirmation,
And they just
beloved.
shine outside the window.
Confirmation. Confirmation. That's the spirit realm. They probably saying bravo. That's probably like a bravo thing, or that's probably like a removal of unwanted substances in your path. Because again, the reason this whole recommendation that I told you, is to, you know, help you to get closer to the spirit realm, communication, to open up the
Mhm.
doors for you. And the altars, and again the spiritual baths. Are you taking spiritual baths? Are you taking your baths and stuff?
No, I actually have one. I have a. It's it's on a little pack. It says Yin and Yang on it. But I haven't used it.
Mm-mm. I mean, you can use it, but the way this is, the way, you know, your aura is, I feel like you should, you know, take a uncrossing bath. You know, I prepare baths as well for my clients too. But an uncrossing path, bath, and like an Oya bath. Uncrossing, dealing with Esu Elegua. You know, you want to help, you know, acknowledge him, and
Mhm.
rather, or you can do an uncrossing bath, an open road bath, and then an Oya bath. That's what I would recommend. Like, just to complement where your situation, your current situation now, where you at now. This is what I feel like
Mhm.
will that this is what will complement you, because again, even from the jump, they said, listen, in order for you taking these baths and stuff like that, but you didn't even acknowledge the person that stands at the gate, the person that, you know, the person, the messenger, you know, the Messiah. You got to give thanks to the Messiah. You have to, you know, acknowledge him too. How is the message supposed to be properly delivered, you know, if the messenger didn't get the message, you know? And again, we can say that, and we can also say, well, I am the person, you know, being honest. You can also say, well, I am the person. But I feel like holistically, you get what I'm saying? Like, holistically, I'm always taking Eshu Elegua baths. I'm always
Mhm.
taking uncrossing paths. Why? Because I'm always channeling for people, you know, and I feel like he helps me to deliver these messages, you know. So if you want messages from the spirit realm, you have to open yourself up in that way, you know, because again, we still having physical experiences. Yes, we're spiritual people having physical experiences. So we need we need these certain tools to help us. You see. Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, those birds.
Mhm.
That it just chilled me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just chilled me a
And
little
they just
bit.
stopped flying. They were flying. I was just watching them. They just stopped maybe about 30 seconds ago.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Uh,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
um, I don't think I did.
You have any questions?
No, I don't think so. Oh no. So you said the altar for Oya. You said horn. What kind of horn?
Let me get back to this. The horns. It may be buffalo horns, but let me confirm that. And again, this is recorded, so you're gonna get back to it. But let
Okay.
me let me
Okay.
tell you now as you're asking the question. Oh yeah, where you at? The altar. Place a pair of horns on her altar to represent her. Strike them together to call her. Place two swords on her altar as well as a smooth river pebbles. So I guess it's just two horns. You
Okay.
can you can get that at ancient stores or whatnot.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So those the baths you was talking about. How much are those? The three.
Well, see the three. See, what I would do for you is I would prepare a 9 day bath for you. I want to go back into the spirit realm and ask them if if I can do if you would benefit from a 9 day or a 6 day bath. Because normally I'll do a 6 day bath, but the 6 day bath is 140. But I want to make sure that what I'm doing for you is what is for you. You get what I'm saying? Because what
Mhm.
difference does it make if you take a three? I mean, it does make a difference between a 6 and a 9 day. Those 3 different days, you can use that. You can use that. But because I already have the information, or I already have what type of bath to make, that's the big part. The type of bath that I make for you, like I said, the uncrossing bath, the open road, and the Oya bath. That's for you. That's the bath that I will prepare for you. But how many days um for you to take the bath is what I want to just confirm with the spirit realm. How many days should she be taking this bath, and when should she be taking these baths? Um,
Mhm.
that's the important thing. So again, I'll email you, after my other readings, and
Okay.
let you know if it's a 6 day bath that they're telling me to tell you, or a 9 day bath, whichever bath. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
beloved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm glad that we crossed paths again.
Yes,
Uh,
totally.
yes,
Well, we have one more. So.
yes, yes. And again, the other reading that you'll get,
Mhm.
I claim that you will start your altars and stuff like that, and you will have feedback for me, or you're gonna have some type of experience, because again, you're on your journey. Even when I prepare these baths for you, they're gonna be with me. You're gonna feel a change, and you're gonna see some things. You see, okay. So yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
uh, now you see the difference between the spiritual consultation and the reading.
Yes, totally. Totally.
Yep, it's a difference. Yep.
Yeah, well, I know this probably wouldn't be for everybody if they, didn't
Mm-mm.
have these experiences. So.
It's not. It won't be for everybody. It's what my spirit tells me, and for you, that's why I said no. Why, don't get a reading now. I would recommend a consultation. Coming from the spirit realm. And again, it's not for everybody. You're right. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was interesting. So
Mhm.
during my reading, I guess I have to wait for that, but I have a question because you were present um,
Mhm.
at a particular time, and I just want to, I don't know if you're conscious of it, I want to ask you about that
Mhm.
particular thing. That's all.
You want to ask me about it?
I can ask you now?
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's about a person. You
Mhm.
were with me, and I was with them, and you said some things to me, but I'm not sure if it was about them or I don't know.
Most likely it was about them. Most likely I might have been telling you to rather watch out for this person, or this person is going to come into your life for something that you might be helping them with. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Because this dream that you had, or this vision that you had, is very similar to what a vision that I had as well. As soon as you said that, my spirit showed me the dream that I had. And the dream that I had is that I was helping my ex boyfriend's girlfriend to juju him, because she came to me to ask me how to get this, how to get him at that time. At that time.
Wow. And
Yes.
that's funny. I was with my ex-boyfriend.
You see that? That's why. You see what I'm trying to tell you?
I was with my ex-boyfriend.
I'm telling you. And that's my ex-boyfriend. And that's why I think that it's something to warn. It's a warning. I was warning you
Okay.
about him. Yep. The same way that she came to me to ask me about him, you're coming to me to ask me about your ex-boyfriend. It's a warning. Yep. That's a warning. That's a warning. And you coming to me like, "Hey sis, what's up with him? Who's he? What's good?" And I must have told you. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't anything bad. It was
I
it
know.
was actually good. It was
Mhm.
good.
Well,
I
yep.
don't know.
Well,
But
hey,
yeah.
yours was good, but my situation it wasn't. My
Okay,
situation.
but then you know the whole you mentioned that she asked you to do some stuff to him or whatever to help her, and
Mhm.
I was feeling like his mom was putting stuff in my food to help me get pregnant.
Ah.
But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, like I
I
said.
just,
Mhm.
yeah, I
Mm.
just what it is.
Yeah, that's
I would have a
that.
feeling whenever I ate every week, it would be weekly because I only ate over there on Sundays. And, throughout the week, I would have these mild cramps. It was just,
Did she like you or she didn't like you?
she did, she
She
did,
liked you. I
she
don't.
did. She still calls me.
So what do you feel? Do you feel like? Cause don't go against what you feel. You get what I'm saying? If you feel like she might have put something in your food, beloved, let me tell you something. Believe it. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, and this is a personal situation. I was with the same guy that I just mentioned. He poisoned me, or he used to put things in my food, but I knew nothing of it until I got out of the relationship, and my spirit guides was showing me things, like highlighting things, like this is the reason why you couldn't leave out the relationship, because look what he was doing. You would never know that people putting stuff in your food,
Yeah,
trying to
and
trap you.
they're African. They're from Africa, from Nigeria.
Girl, them Nigerians, I don't know them personally, but
Yeah.
their reputation ain't. Yeah. So, but all is well. You're protected. You are Oya. Mama Bridget is with you, and you have the fairies, for that abundance and prosperity thing. So, it's all good. No, they ain't stopping you. And that's probably why the spirit realm was saying the uncrossing bath, to uncross everything that might have happened to you that may be hindering you. Uncrossing bath,
Mhm.
you see, and then open road bath. And then because you are Oya, the Oya bath. You see?
Yeah. Okay.
So it works. So yeah, I'll definitely send you that information, my love. Thank you again
All right.
for
Thank you so much.
for choosing me to further assist you. Love is in your face. Okay? And
Thank you.
peace and blessings.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
All right. Bye.